know. Nice hearing live. Just got on board. Just thought I'd come through and see if anybody was out there. Had a good, pretty good day today. Just kind of going through some some things. Shot some videos. I saw some of my responses. I appreciate people that comment. I've had a good, quite past few evenings with some live streams. Been some real good heated discussion. What's up? What's up? I saw you responded to the Terry Bradshaw, Troy Aikman. That didn't take you long. That didn't take you long. Sometimes I like to switch it up, talk about, talking about quarterbacks and stuff. And so sometimes, what happened to you last night? What happened to you last night? Because you left after the cat from Africa came on. Everybody compensate. That got into a whole different, well, it was cool. I don't mind people coming in that give a different flavor. That was cool. It's just that you disappeared. And so someone was asking what we were talking about. But yeah, it took on that was cool. I mean, I'm glad that this is taking on more of an international flavor. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You know, I do like your commentary. It's just I know that you split, and then it took on a whole different flavor, which was cool. It was healthy. At least it wasn't no trolls, and I like the energy when we go into. There's different topics, so I got it. You got a life, and it ain't like you're gonna be here all day. I got it. Anyway, I did that Charles Barkley video today. And I like what he was saying because when he's actually accurate. I don't watch that mess with him and Gail King, but when he came out and said, "Look, no one wants to talk about the Lakers and the Warriors," and I said, "Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Stop bringing them up all the time. You know, they're gonna try to make LeBron and Steph like a magic bird thing. That's what they'll try to do. Yin and yang. You know, get so bad that they try to team them up, and somehow Steph is taking the blame for this. That's crazy how that worked. It's like, oh, he needs him. No, he don't. No, he don't. No, he don't. Because Steph still doesn't play with the equivalent of Anthony Davis. And I do want to talk about AD because this crazy talk about how they trying to blow him up. I don't watch that mess. I ain't watching that mess. Somebody gonna get hurt too. Can't have two 35-plus-year-old cats without somebody getting hurt. And if they don't win, oh well. I saw, but they barely won. See, they're not a dominant team. This is why I can't get excited about them. They got to score like 70 plus points, rebounds, steals, blocks, and all that, and they struggling. That Jordan Poole put 34. Tell me about Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole ain't scored 34 sometimes in a week. Okay? And he had 34. Come on now. And they went to overtime with him. Come on now. Kuzma's shot went in and out. They struggling with the Wizards. Okay? Took LeBron to go crazy against the Clippers. They weren't going to win that game because AD had tanked at 20. So come on now. And we know that logically speaking, when LeBron is gone, AD's going to stink in LA. We already know. Don't be surprised if they try to trade him. Think you could get some assets for him. Just saying. I don't think he'll be much without LeBron. I'm just putting it out there now. So for Laker fans get mad, I just call it what it is. But yeah, I didn't watch it. Who won? Oh yeah, that's right. Boston spanked their butt. Never mind. I caught the lowlights. I wasn't watching that because I know Luca got to do too much. And I told you, maybe in the postseason they'll make something, but in the regular season, they're not on Boston's level. Don't play no defense, and they just don't have enough depth. So I'm not sold on it. Mine is in reverse. I'm going with Jokic. Denver's the champs. He been balling, and he is SGA. He is Chad too, because Jokic does both. They really don't have, you know, because of Jamal Murray, but you really have a next two. So it's Jokic for me, SGA. My third is Giannis, because I'm more impressed by what he's doing with Milwaukee. It ain't easy to get rid of your coach and to play with Dame Lillard and still put up those numbers. So that's what I think. Tatum is not going to get no high love until the Celtics win the chip. Then he wins a chip. Then they'll give him a token MVP to go with a Finals MVP. That's what'll happen. I'm not sold on Tatum. I'm not big on him. Not. The fact that you got SGA over him right now tells you everything you need to know. And Tatum been doing this for quite a minute. Wemby's got it going on. You know, if they can get them a Parker Ginobili type and a bench, catch him in the next couple years. Well, he's got about at least an 8 to 10 year window. But if they can catch him the next couple years before Pop gets too old in the tooth, real old in the tooth, they might make some noise. Got a chance to be his world once Jokic gets past 30. Maybe. Depends on what parts they put around him. He got to have some parts, though. But he nice, though. He nice. Just not Wilt Chamberlain nice. I don't want nobody saying that. I did a video about that. Wemby's nice, but let's not get carried away. And no, I can't put Tatum at 3. Because I know if Joel Embiid was playing, he'd be behind him and Giannis. So he's the most important American seller, but it's gonna be hard to argue against if Minnesota or OKC come out number 1. And quiet is kept. I do give Orlando his due, but Mike Malone making a strong case in Denver too. I mean, think about it. You win the chip, and you're close. So you know they don't lose too many games. They play the right way. So just saying. I mean, they may. I think Orlando got a chance if they stay in the 6th, 7th spot. Yeah. So. But. Now, if Orlando wins a round, that changes the ball game. But anyway, I got Jokic number 1 now. I think he's the best player in the league. I think him and Giannis are battling 1 and 2. But I know why they don't want either one of them to get it, because then they'll have multiple league MVPs, and then, you know, that defeats the LeBron narrative. But well, if he can get a shot down, that's a steal. You know, just depends if he can knock out the outside shot. That's the key. Can he take and you know, I saw what he did against Denver. They just too small for Denver. That's all. No matter what they do, they can play them. It's kind of like a heavyweight fight. It's kind of like a Holyfield fight. They can go 12 rounds with them, but can they get a knockout? No. Hang, but not knockout. They don't have enough shooters. I told you. And Bam, they're trying to, what they want to do is add 4 or 5 points more to him, which I understand because he's undersized in the glass, and I get it. I get it. But good luck with that though. They can do that, and like I said before, they trying to get some shooting. I expect that. Expect that. Doc, like I said, regular season, that's not the problem. We, for raw, if Milwaukee was to be top seed or second or third, that's not the problem. That's not the problem. We already know what's up. We looking money time. We don't care. Look, Giannis is at a stage in his career. They even if they just get in the playoffs, nobody, they know what they're dealing with. Now the question remains what they gonna do in the postseason. That's the elephant in the room. Yeah, I think they'll be okay. They need him for the postseason anyway. Excuse me. That's when they need Westbrook to emerge anyway. The season is about over. And you got like 20 games, 25 games. So you don't need that. You need him to save up for the postseason. That's where he's gonna earn his stripes. So some teams need to get into gear for now, some others. You know, teams like Milwaukee and the he played every game because he's trying to get his butt in shape. Plus, he's trying to stay on and get that postseason money. That's what's up. And then Tyronn Lue pretty much told him, you can't be partying and swinging and hanging at the club and be all lazy and all strung out in the game. You got to bring it. So that's what he's doing. He's back home. He's in the spotlight. So he better deliver. So that's the reason. Harden was a load management, all that. These cats got to bring it now. But they on their last legs anyway because if they don't, you got to think with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, if you don't bring it with this situation, there's no other where you can go in the NBA where you're going to have a coach that is respected and that you have championship aspirations and it's got a chance to be decorated. You have no other choice. Um, it's all right. I grew up where there was 82 games. I think that they telling. I mean, let's be realistic. I feel bad for Embiid because Embiid would probably have been a strong MVP candidate this year, and it's sad in that regard. But you play a certain amount of games, you qualify for what they want. But you know, yeah, it's just that it's not the same levels of love no more. And I don't think, excuse me, I don't think it takes all 65 games for teams to know what they got because the bottom line is a lot of these teams aren't that good or the players, it all depends on what you're looking, what your counter is, you know. I grew up in a time when the great players played their games and there was no questions about it. Sometimes they picked other people, but there was no questions about, for the most part. So, but I ain't got no problem with. I mean, it's. But I tell you all the time, they get in trouble for always kind of like pushing agendas, though. Yep. Duncan had his situation. They all had something they did. Yeah, they brought that up at the time. Well, I can't blame him. Jokers be embarrassing turkeys. I mean, come on. He will embarrass you. Yeah, well. Sometimes guys got problems with certain people. He does. He does a good job of it too. He's a great coach. His team's 20 plus games over 500, sharp as a whip. And remember, I told you Michael Porter Jr. is the X Factor. And who got off the other night against Miami? It was Michael Porter Jr. So, so yeah. I'm waiting for that other comment. But I already talked about Mike Malone. Not interested. Except, they're going to talk about Caleb Williams and will Justin Fields get traded. That's what's going to be about. Not interested. Because it's going to be about evolving around 2 or 3 teams and a couple of trades and what they're going to try to do. I don't really get into that hype. I told you, I don't care. He don't need to. And see, he's not a scary brother like Lamar Jackson, so I don't think they'll make a big deal. He just need to hire a lawyer. That's what Ray Allen did. Paid him $600 an hour, did his paperwork. You don't need to go through all that. See, with all them agents, Lee Steinberg, all those guys, they made a lifestyle off of guys. So if he don't, more power to him. Told you he don't need him. I'm like I said before, the draft gets people false hope. It's false hype. It's 2 or 3 days of what? What does it mean exactly? I mean, people get this false sense that, oh, we got so and so. Well, nobody knows. Yeah, I mean, if you trust somebody and you cool with it, you don't have to go through the slave master agents. I mean, Lee Steinberg and all them cats used to make a ton of money off their clients. The days of when a guy signed with this agent and he sat there and, got a lifetime pass is almost over. So, yeah. I ain't no problem. As long as Jalen Hurts is cool with that, I got no problems. He did at the time. I mean, he took and of course he didn't more than made up the money, but at the time it was what it was. How much was guaranteed, I don't know. You know, but let's just say he didn't more than made up for it though. He more than made up for it. I mean, since then he's won 2 Super Bowl rings, so come on now, he didn't more than made up for it. And I'm sure that if they give him a restructured deal, it'll be a lot more guaranteed money. He'll be in his own orbit. But most of those deals are like that. I mean, yeah, cats don't get the half of what they get. They have to have other things factor in. So his commercials will make him a household name to help him out. When cats try to tell you that they just want to win, that they just trying to, and they end up signing with some old janky butt team. Like if you're a baseball fan and you like a player, right? And he's like, yeah, I just want to win or something. He ends up going to the Kansas City Royals, and you're like, you know, it's like, or you talk about, yeah, yeah, I have championship aspirations, and you end up with the Washington Wizards. So until I wish cats would be honest. Well, like Alex Rodriguez was talking about, yeah, I really want to win. He went to Texas when they sucked, okay, and the Mariners did great without him. But my point is, just tell the truth. Tell the truth. The one that'll put the most money is will get you the most. Just tell the truth. So that's my sports free agency moves. That's the biggest thing. A lot of them just be lying. And they know good and well they're gonna sign for the highest bidder. Yeah, like I said, Lamar's thing. Oh, we already did this one. I did one. I told you it's more about people having a pet peeve about them than others. People who were old school National League fans thought it was just like uh softball with 10-man batting. So that's why the DHs didn't have no pet peeves. They just did their job, you know. So some people took some cheap shots at them, but yeah, there was really no real pet peeve against them. Not from the inside. Maybe National League players, but I know the sports fans, old heads, had problem with it because they thought it was softball, bushwheat. Depends on how you look at it. Dodgers look good. They should. They look good every day. They look good every year until what? I don't really, again, till I see them in he usually does that too. How much talent they gonna get? They got him, Mookie Betts, Clayton Kershaw. How much talent do you gotta get? Huh? I mean, come on now. They've had top tier talent since '07, '08, and they got one ring to show for it. So I mean, really, he should do good. He been getting old. His arm been shot for a minute. He be throwing all them gopher balls in the postseason. You know, were he a little bit more reliable, they'd almost be saying Sandy Koufax who if he was a little bit more reliable, but he ain't. Believe me, they wish he were because they love to. Believe me, they love to get the mayonnaise out and put a ribbon by him. But he's been so suspect in the postseason. Great during the regular season though. But Otani's gonna be fine. That's not his problem. It's like, will he burn out by the middle of the summer? See, that's what you got to ask yourself. And the Dodgers have a tendency to fade near the end of September. Like I said before, I'm not getting excited. Okay, this is good. Woo, woo! You bring the heat. Oh, Randy Johnson for a couple reasons. As great as he was in Seattle, when he went to Houston and was undefeated, because at the time going to the National League, American League pitcher, you just think, okay, well, what are you gonna do? He went over there and he was great. Then he went to Arizona and he won the chip. So he was a precursor to Verlander. Verlander's gets better as older, but Randy Johnson got better. He got better. Actually, after he left Seattle, yeah, except when he got to the Yankees, but yeah, but Verlander ain't nothing to sneeze at, and this is a good one. Depends if you put Verlander against somebody else, but against Randy, I gotta give RJ the edge. But it ain't a super blowout, but I gotta give it to Randy though. Mm-hmm. What's a good one? That was a real good question. I wasn't expecting that one. But I liked them both though. And I thought Verlander, now he made a mistake leaving Houston going to the Mets. Duh. He got back where he belonged. And he's on point, like he could pitch 2 or 3 more years. I mean, but Randy Johnson though. Mm. He went to Houston. He was unstoppable, and then he went to Arizona. Mm. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you bringing him Nate? Oof. Slight edge to Hershiser because he was the dominant Dodger pitcher. Glavine was bad, but Maddox was considered the better slightly. Got to give it to Oral. 88, them shutouts, his dominance. But Glavine right there. But I think because Maddox was more closer with Oral, but for Oral, I got to give it to Oral though. That's a good one though. I had to think there for a moment. Um, I got to give it to Manny. Chef was big and clutch, but Manny had more drama, more flair. Barry Bonds. Ain't nobody I'm taking over Barry Bonds. There's probably maybe I'm not gonna say who. There's only one person I might consider taking over Barry Bonds. Maybe one. But you ain't gonna ask me who that is. I'm not gonna say it. But I'll say they're old school. I'll give you that. Nobody that's played in the last 40, 50 years I got over Bonds, so nobody. So you go from last 50, 60 years, well, no, last 50. Last 50. Nobody. But Chef was bad with the stroke and everything. I just think that Manny came up a little bit bigger, played a little bit more important thing. Chef came up big in the World Series. Manny did too. But it's something about Manny had a little more. I think the charisma takes him over. Both great though, but I gotta give Manny just a slight edge. Now look, before I tear, and this is not fair to Albert Pujols because great hitter, power hitter, World Series champion. This is where baseball's not the same as pro basketball, NFL about your rings argument stuff because it doesn't really carry the same weight. It really is team what you do. And Albert's probably like the second most important player to Bonds in the National League during Barry's time, probably overall because he had a lot of big moments. And Barry just, you know, so so that's a great baseball questions. All three of those are all forward type. Can't go wrong. You know. Now, if you made a case for Albert, had Albert stayed in the National League, history would hold him a higher. Just like a Manny stayed with Cleveland. It just depends. Cole Hamilton. Roy Oswald. It's close though, but I get Roy Oswald. Now this is the first one that it's kind of anticlimactic because I'm not as big on both these guys as the previous what I call battle royals. Those others that you mentioned that was battle royals, but I'll give it to Roy Oswald. Cole was nice. He's nice. He's good. He's tight, but I gotta give it to Roy. I gotta go more Billy Wagner because I thought Trevor Hoffman had the made for TV. You know, tinker tot saves. Give it to Billy Wagner. So yeah, I gotta give it to Billy Wagner. I was more impressed. Molitor. I love McGriff, but see, this is where we get into the very good versus great. McGriff was in the very good, and he came up big for Atlanta, and he had a lot of home runs with Toronto. But I wasn't like But Molitor, come on now. Molitor was a versatile player, underrated, you know, and if he played for a bigger name brand or something, there's no telling what they would have probably done for him, you know. So, but it's no diss to McGriff. It's just that Paul Molitor was that dude. He was a bad boy. Pedro was bad. I won't argue with you. Now, if I'm talking right-handed, left-handed pitchers, well, because I'll put somebody before my time like Bob Gibson, Satchel Paige, Clemens, and but Pedro would belong with Maddox. He belongs with all that, you know. Yeah, he was raw bone when he first came out. Then when he got seasoned, he just became a polished, hard throwing pitcher. Yeah, huge Pedro fan. That was a good one that you mentioned with McGriff and Molitor. No one ever mentions people like, but Molitor don't never get no love though. But I know why though. I mean, he played in Milwaukee, and you know, if you watch baseball from a particular era, so Jamie Moyer, funny story. I used to live near Seattle. They used to joke all the time. They say he threw his pitching was so off the way he hardest he threw that he could probably be pitching until he was 45. And they said you could sit in a rocking chair and catch his stuff. He it wasn't knuckleball stuff, but it worked. It worked. He was kind of I don't know. I don't know. No, but black. Why do you like Jamie Moyer though? The screen went black. Let me know. The screen go black. Let me know. And let me know why you didn't like Jimmy Moyer, if you can hear me. I'm curious about that. Hmm. Hmm. I see everything. I just saw everything is all right. Ain't nobody sent them nothing because I just was asking if the screen go black. Yeah. Trying to wait and see it out. Let me know. Because I'm alive here in color. I don't know what's happened. Yeah. Trying to make sense of this. Right here, I ain't heard nothing. All I got was it went black and it didn't like Jamie Moyer. So I'm waiting to see if somebody's got something to say. Hey, when it delays up like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Know what be going on with this thing. Be right back. Yeah, somebody say something because it's just crazy. Okay. See what's up. What's up? See everybody went. Hmm. Okay. Gotta see if anybody comes through. If y'all can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. Say something. Try this again.